Good morning, everyone. We will go ahead and get started. Thank you for giving up some time this morning to meet with us. We have a lot of information to share with you. Please feel free to utilize the chat feature if you have any questions throughout. And we are recording this meeting, so we will post it on our website as long as sending it to the registered leader as well. Um, we're going to quickly introduce ourselves, our leadership team, and then we will jump right into it. So my name's Natalie. I'm the camp director this year, and I'm looking forward to being back again.
I'm Brittany. I'm the assistant camp director for camp this summer.
I'm David. I will be the program director again this summer.
And I'm Walker. I'll be the camp commissioner for this summer.
I'm Maddie Carstens. I'm the camping director for the Mid-America Council, and I oversee all of our summer camp operations.
All right, jumping right into it, just a few program updates. We didn't change too much this year. The main change is our Friday flag ceremony will be at 6 o'clock. So that's a historical flag ceremony plus a flag retirement. So that will be at 6, and dinner in the dining hall will follow at 6:30. So if you have families coming for family night and they want to partake in this, that will start at 6. In previous years, it's been 5:45. We're just changing the schedule slightly to make things in the dining hall run a little bit smoother. Otherwise, our overall camp schedule hasn't changed, so we're still doing the block/period hybrid schedule. Classes are still over 2 days, so scouts will have classes Monday, Tuesday, and then they'll get a new set of classes on Wednesday and Thursday for a total of 6 classes over the course of the time at camp. We still have that patrol activity period in the afternoon from 3:45 to 6. Our daily SPL meeting will be at 1:15. Morning flags are still in the campsite with your units. And then our meal shifts have remained the same from previous years. So breakfast is an open breakfast from 6:30 to 7. North Camp lunch is from 12 to 12:30. South Camp lunch is from 12:40 to 1:10. North Camp dinner is from 5:30 to 6, and then South Camp dinner is 6:30 to 7:15, and we will have our evening flag ceremony between North dinner and South dinner. So, like I said, the only big change is that Friday flag time. Otherwise, no big changes this year. And this is just a kind of a visual schedule of what our weekly schedule looks like. So, and our campsites as well. So if you hear us referring to North Camp and South Camp, our campsites are divided. It just helps us split up camp evenly. So North Camp includes Saline, Odell, Rock, Three Feathers, Four Eagles, Mandan, Dakar, and Armstrong McDonald. And then our South Camp campsites include Grattan, Haddocks, Boyer, Hayes, Miller, Barrick, Schramm, and Getchman Heckman. This document can be found in our leader's guide, and it will also be posted on our campsite bulletin boards, and we'll have copies available at the administration building as well when you're at camp. So if you need to reference this or if your scouts need it, we will have it available to you. We are in our 3rd year of our Camp Cedars and Camp Amakero overlap. We have learned a lot over the past 2 years, and we want to make this as smooth of a transition and overlap as possible. So no one should feel rushed or pushed out or kicked out to leave. So our Cub Camp starts on Friday, which is our Friday Fun Day for Camp Cedars. So it's a great time for you to recruit and show the Cub Scouts what scout camping can be. So unfortunately, there is no vehicle movement from 2 to 6 p.m. We want to keep everyone safe. We have a lot of people on camp, a lot of younger scouts walking around, and we know they might not be the most observant. So there is only foot traffic past our main gate. at the pool from 2 to 6. So please plan accordingly for your trailer movement. If you have someone specific who drives your trailer, please plan accordingly. We cannot accommodate, those schedule things, and we just want to keep everyone safe. There's no exceptions to that rule, okay? There's no trailer parking in or around the main parking area, so that's our parking lot to the front gate. You can leave your trailer hooked up to a vehicle at the campsite, or if you really need to move it, you can move it up to Heritage, which is where our equestrian and coping climbing areas are. Like I said previously, this is a great opportunity for PACs to see the Scout program and what they have to look forward to within the program. And all Scouts should welcome, our Cub Scouts as well. Our Cubs will be camping outside of the dining hall in our ODS Scoutcraft area and our Cubby Row is what we're calling it. There will be one dinner on Friday in the dining hall, and that is at 6:30 and no earlier. So that is our family night. So if you are bringing in food, that is fine. But if you plan to eat in the dining hall, our dinner will not start until 6:30. Additionally to that, check-in will not begin until 1:30 on Sunday. We will have PACs leaving, but please be patient to check in and to enter in our front gate while our PACs are exiting camp as well. Does anyone have any questions on that? Like I said, we have a lot of systems in place. We've learned a lot over the past couple of years. And if you don't have anything right now, you can, again, utilize the chat feature. All right. I'm going to pass it over to David.
All right, so some new programs that we have this year. We are bringing back the Golf Merit Badge. That'll be taught over in Scoutcraft, so that ODS area. We also have the Salesmanship Merit Badge, which will be new this year. That'll be taught in the Trading Post. So if you have some Scouts that might want some AC time during the summer, that is a great merit badge to take advantage of. We have some new additions onto the lakefront inflatable course. So just some new opportunities and fun things for Scouts to do there during that open lakefront time on Friday. We have an orienteering course this year as well that we are going to try to use as much as we can, as well as a disc golf course. That'll be used for the golf merit badges as well as just it's an open time, open activity for Scouts to use. This year, a new program that we have happening on Thursday night before our Thursday night fun night is going to be patch trading. So that'll happen over by Handicraft, over by the parade fields. So that'll be a super cool opportunity for Scouts just to patch trade and see what different patches are out there. We have the First Step Pistol program, which will be down in range and target activities. Just a fun opportunity for Scouts to learn more about pistols and proper safety on how to use them.
I will say that pistol program is for 14-year-olds or have completed the 8th grade. So that is an age requirement per that program. So, and it is very limited. I think it's 6 people as well. So if your Scouts want that, make sure they sign up right away and that they meet those age requirements as well.
Just a note on the golf merit badge. We're doing the disc golf option. So please don't bring the Scouts, full bag of golf clubs. We are doing the disc golf option, not the actual golfing option.
So if you've been to camp in the past, you have noticed if you come on week 3 and week 5, week 3 last year, we had Halloween in June. So we're doing that again. Week 5, we'll have Christmas in July. So we're just encouraging you guys, if you're coming out those weeks, you're more than welcome to participate in those activities. Whether you want to decorate your campsite, wear Scout appropriate costumes, and we have some fun activities planned as well. Same with Christmas in July. You can decorate your campsite. Again, keep the decorations to what is scout appropriate and what fits in your campsite. So those are just some fun activities that we'll have during those weeks that we want you guys to be a part of and not just have this staff be a part of. Some older scout programs. We have ATVs, coping climbing, stand-up paddle boards, kayaking, metalworking, and jousting, as well as that first step pistol program. We will also have the aviation merit badge this year. So scouts that are in that, they will have the chance to fly on Friday. That is weather depending, because our biggest thing is to make sure they stay safe while they're up there flying. So just some fun activities and opportunities for the older scouts, so it doesn't just feel like a younger scout camp. Prerequisites. So if you have there are some merit badges that have some prerequisites that need to be done before you come to camp. Once you get those done, these links are available on the council website, so that you can submit those. Under that first one, we have the class catalog. So if you'd like to show your scouts what merit badges are being offered this summer before they open up to register, that is on the council website as well. We ask that those prereq forms get submitted at least a week or two before you come out to camp, just to give us plenty of time that we can insert that into the 24/7 system. So then that way it's already there for your convenience. This year, again, last year we had Order of the Arrow. They had an ice cream social. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Order of the Arrow, so they'll have a call out ceremony during our closing campfire, as well as a brotherhood ceremony on Wednesday night at 7:30. Wednesday is OA day, so if you are in the OA, please wear your sash on Wednesday. Wednesday from 3:45 to 6, they'll have their ice cream social at the parade field. They have cornhole and different activities out there, and anyone is welcome to come. You don't just have to be in the OA to go to that. Thursday night, if you are in the OA, there will be a service project. So if you need that for advancement, there will be an opportunity for that as well. And I'm going to pass it off to Brittany.
Nice. So I'm going to talk about Friday Fun Day. So out at camp, Friday is just like a fun day. We have tons of activities. Each area has something going on. As you can see the list below of just kind of a highlight of some of the things we'll do here at camp. There are a few things you do need to sign up ahead of time, being the chess merit badge, cowboy action shoot. I believe that's it. Most of those you can just show up to camp. We'll have trail rides and all sorts of things. There will be an updated list on the board out at camp, with additional details when you get there. Also on Friday Fun Day, we have our Dutch oven cook-off. This will happen at 2:30 in Scoutcraft. The dish does need to be cooked and ready to be judged at 2:30. We're doing something with a secret ingredient this year. So the secret ingredient will be cornflakes. And the camp, we will actually provide the cornflakes, so you can come up to actually the kitchen and get your cornflakes for your dish. But all the dishes just have to include cornflakes. The winner will get the golden spatula at Friday night campfire. Also on Friday Fun Day is a cardboard boat race. This has been a tradition for us for the last couple of years. The rules have kind of updated a little bit. So each unit can make a boat to hopefully float in our lake. The activity will happen on Friday at 4:30. The rules are the boat must include only cardboard and duct tape. Must be captained by an adult blue swimmer. No sharp pointy things, so no hardware like screws or nails or anything like that. And rule number 4 is your oar or paddle should be homemade. No canoe paddles, kayak paddles, stand-up paddleboard paddles. Program sign up. Starting March 3rd at 10 a.m., scouts who are 14 and older can start to register for all of our programs. All scouts on March 17th at 10 a.m. will then go ahead and register. So it'll open up to everyone else on March 17th. Scouts do have to have their $100 deposit down. Programs are a first come, first serve basis. So we really encourage your older scouts to get registered first, and then your other scouts will come later. After May 5th, scouts who are not paid in full will actually be removed from their classes. So make sure that we're getting their payments in ahead of time. After May 5th, we will actually close the class registration and we will start making changes on our end. And those changes will be made, should be done 2 weeks prior to you guys coming out to camp. Those changes are based on classes. If we have a scout that's in one class and he's by himself, what we try to do is just kind of change the schedule around so that that scout is in with other scouts in their classes. They will get all of the classes that they're signed up for. They just may be in a different arrangement than when you originally registered them. If there's any questions, you can go ahead and contact me with classes and the class scheduling, or if there's a schedule that a kid really wants to get this merit badge but can't figure out how to make it work in their schedule, please reach out. I can try to change and manipulate the schedule as best as I can.
Before we talk about the timeline, does anyone have any questions about program signups, classes, anything like that?
Brittany, there was a question in the chat about ATV trail rides, if they've already completed the training course and everything. I wasn't sure if we were doing that this year.
On Friday?
Yes.
To be determined. We're gonna see how everything goes. But we will let you guys know if those do open up during camp.
And I think for clarification too, that has a lot to do with the conditions of the trail, the vehicles, and our staffing capabilities for those
Yeah.
programs. So
Yes, and if we ever have a rain day, like through the week, Friday is really the catch-up day for ATVs. So we would like to offer those extra trail rides, but if a class needs to catch up, then we do need to honor that and let the kids make up those rides from the week. So
Okay, so our timeline, so like Brittany mentioned, March 3rd through the 16th is our program sign up for our scouts who are 14 or older and have their $100 deposit paid. March 17th is when it opens up to all scouts. We really try to prioritize our older scouts when signing up so they get their first choice of merit badges. April 6th is our campership deadline. So we do offer some financial aid to families. So that application can be found in that link. It can also be found on our council website. And that is a pretty firm deadline. The committee meets pretty soon after April 6th. So make sure if your scouts are applying for that, they get that in. May 5th is the deadline for our discounted rate scouts who have paid in full for their free t-shirt, adult purchase of t-shirts, and the $100 cancellation fee per scout dropped from the troops registration. So May 5th is a big deadline. When also registering your scout, make sure they put in their t-shirt size so that way we can order accordingly and everyone gets their t-shirt as planned. So make sure your scouts are putting in their t-shirt size as well. June 1st is our $425 cancellation fee per scout that is dropped from the troops registration. So those are our important dates moving forward. Make sure they're on your radar and you're watching those. I'm gonna pass it over to Maddie to talk about our discounts that we offer.
Perfect. Yeah, so we do have some discounts available for in-council scouts. So scouts that sell 125 camp cards can attend camp for free. And if you're a part of the camp card sale, you also get the commission from those cards. So kind of a double opportunity there. We also offer a discount of $15 per scout and $10 per adult if you contribute to the ICC campaign. That should say 2025 ICC campaign. There's also a $15 discount for scouts who sold popcorn last fall and sell camp cards this spring. And then $10 off per adult who completes the training in their primary BSA position. And those specific trainings can be found online or reach out to us if you have questions about what your primary registered position is. We'll also honor that early discount rate after May 5th for any new scouts. So if you have Webelos that have crossed over or Arrow Lights that have crossed over into the troop, or you recruit new scouts, then we'll honor that lower price for them even after the deadline. And as we talked about, the camperships are due April 6th. And then we also offer a multi-week discount if you want to attend camp more than 1 week. Awesome. So there are a couple different ways to pay for camp. The troop can collect the money from families and then make that payment in their registration online. We also offer the parent portal. So this is an option that you can turn on in your registration that will allow your families to go in and pay for their scouts registration. They can update all of the contact information for that scout, t-shirt sizes, rank, all of that. And then the leaders still have the option to allow them to sign up for classes or turn that off and the leaders enter the classes. And then if you want to have families pay directly for their scout, we do have a drop form link that allows them to do that. We just ask that you give us 24 hours to process that payment since we have to kind of do it on the manual backend. Campsite resting plan. So we will rest our campsites throughout a 10-year period. And so this is for conservation purposes, sustainability, and then it also allows us to complete some needed maintenance in those areas. So this year we'll be resting Dock R, and then you can see the plan for the next 8 or so more years. This is kind of subject to change based on like mostly maintenance that needs to happen more at a higher priority in some campsites and other campsites. So this is the plan, but it may still change in future years. All right, so our adult leadership and provisional scouts. So all adults spending the night must be registered with the troop that they're attending with. So this was a change, I believe, last year with the national youth protection policies and adult leadership policies. We do require 2 adult leaders per unit, including linked troops, meaning that the male troop has 2 leaders and the female troop has 2 leaders. If a unit isn't able to provide the 2 leaders, we'll help pair you up with other scouts and other units of the same gender to provide that leadership. I know I've gotten a few questions in the chat about the new pilot program, and I'm honestly not 100% sure, so I'm going to find out, and I'll reach out to you guys individually with what that will look like this summer. Just because it's new, I don't know the answer. And then provisional campers are scouts who attend camp individually or without their unit. So you can either find the unit to camp with if you know them, want to handle that on your side, that's totally fine. Or just reach out to us and we'll help pair you up with unit of the same gender. All right, and then there were some updates to the buddy system lately. So following youth protection guidelines, Scouts should always use the buddy system, of course. But there were a few changes on kind of who can be a buddy and what the age ranges are. So scouts of the same sex and no more than 3 years apart in age can be a buddy pair. Youth siblings of the same gender can also serve as buddies, regardless of their age difference, with that parent or guardian permission. We recommend that when you're registering your scouts for classes, that you aim to keep them in the same area. So, you have a scout going to a lakefront class and a scout going to nature. That's pretty close to the same area. Kit Fox, handicraft, those types of things. So you can look at our map and kind of see where classes are at on camp, and do your best to just kind of keep them in the same area, if not the same class. And then your tenting buddy pairs must be the same sex and no more than 2 years apart in age. In exceptional circumstances, a parent or guardian can serve as the buddy for their scout. We always prefer that it is youth that are buddies together over a parent and guardian with their child, but ultimately it is up to the unit leadership to approve that if that is needed. But regardless, adult program participants, including our staff, cannot be paired with a youth in any circumstance. Perfect.
All right, so now we're gonna be talking about the check-in process for this year. This is a new kind of modified, streamlined process from years past. We want to make sure that you guys aren't feeling rushed or overwhelmed during the check-in process, and so that's what this new process aims to do. So first off, you can arrive at 1:30 through 4 p.m. on Sunday. We ask that you don't come earlier than that, and because the clubs are checking out at the same time. But 1:30 is when we'll start letting you in the gate. So you guys will arrive as a whole troop. Med checks will be conducted in the car prior to entering camp, similar to how COVID was structured when we did camp during COVID. So we're just going to ask the questions in the car so that we're not spending so much time underneath the trading post. And then medication health forms will need to be taken to the medical office. So those aren't something that you guys can just hand off. One adult leader will have to go and turn those in. Once you guys arrive in camp, you can park your truck and trailers and all your miscellaneous cars and load everything into one truck or trailer and make your way to your campsite. After all your gear is unloaded into the campsite, in no particular order, you can do the following things: swim checks, your archery bow and shotgun strength checks, and the OA check-in. And then at 4:30 is our leaders meeting at Rotary Pavilion. And this year we've moved troop photos to Monday night so that people aren't feeling rushed to get through. Um, so people aren't feeling rushed to get through everything just so they can take their troop photos. So those will be held Monday night at the beginning of second supper.
Really quick, Walker, we had a question. So will the scouts and adults who answer yes to any med check questions still need to go to medical? More than likely, yes, because that is where our medic will be stationed. If it's a situation where we can radio her and have her meet us up at the gate, we might be able to make that work. But that's kind of a case-by-case basis. Like Walker said, we're trying to streamline and make the process a little quicker for you all. We heard your feedback and we're trying to make adjustments to make it better.
Check-in documents. So once you guys get into camp, we ask that one adult leader go and turn in all your forms and waivers into admin while the rest of the troop completes their check-in process. So that kind of includes your waivers, your swim checks, med forms, and things like that. To streamline the process even more, and kind of if you don't want to make that adult leader do everything, you can submit a lot of the forms online. So that includes your equestrian forms, your ATV forms, and your aviation forms. And these are all am I correct in saying that these are all findable on the council website? Yes, they can be found on the
Yes.
council website.
In the
So
pistol and cowboy action waiver will be available soon.
Along with this is that we've been kind of working on revamping the ambassador system as well. So just to make sure that they're not making you feel rushed is another part of it. So
All right, so the BSA health form has not been updated as far as I know, but every youth and adult who will be on camp for more than 24 hours is required to have a health form, and that's all parts A, B, and C as well. So this form is available online on the council website. For our youth, it has to include a parent and guardian signature. We request a copy of your insurance card, tetanus immunization. Like I previously stated, all parts. Part C does require a doctor's signature, and that has to be done within the past 12 months. So if it expires in May and you come in July, you will need a new one. However, if it expires in, July and you come to camp in July, it is still good. So you have until the end of the month of when that signature was done. And then any medications, so any Schedule II medications, we require that they are labeled in the original containers or in pharmacy containers, and then they are kept in the medical office. Our medic comes to every meal. She is easy to find in the dining hall. An adult leader will get the medications for the troop from her, distribute them to the scouts, and then bring them back to her within that same meal. Walgreens does offer like bubble packing or school bottles. And please make sure you enter any dietary needs in your online registration. We've been working really hard the past couple years to improve our dietary need options for our scouts and our participants, but we can't do that unless we don't know about it. So please make sure you're also putting them in the registration. This was new to us last year. So units must document all medication administration, including prescription and over-the-counter medications while at camp. So we have a form that is linked in this presentation, but it's also available on our council website. Medications taken at the health lodge will be documented in our first aid logbook. But we encourage parents to complete the individual prescription medication record prior to coming to camp and reviewed by the unit leadership administering the medications. Each camper must complete their individual form. This form is completed by both youth and adult. And then there's an individual one, which is what I was just talking about. And then we also have a unit medication record for any over-the-counter given in the campsite or by unit leaders. So this would be like your Tylenol, ibuprofen, Benadryl, things like that. It is an option. So the medical form review takes a little bit of time on Sundays. So it is an option for it to be reviewed. Your form's reviewed prior to coming to camp. It helps speed up the check-in process. It ensures complete forms and that you're not scrambling, Sunday, Monday to figure things out. It's available at our scout shop in Omaha. There's no specific date to review, but at the latest, drop the forms off Wednesday, the Wednesday prior to your arrival at camp. Forms are kept and then taken to camp. They must be in an envelope that holds the health forms. Must be in envelope that holds the health forms, and we must have a unit number, the week you're going to camp, and contact information. So name, phone number, email, so that way we can contact you with anything that needs to be fixed. And if you're local to camp, you can arrange a time to drop it off with us prior to your arrival at camp. Like I said, this just helps streamlines the process even more. And if you have any scouts who, they've done camp before, but they still really love camp, we are still hiring. So scouts ages 14 and up can apply to work on camp. We do have week-long and weekend positions available in most areas. We do have some areas that unfortunately have filled, but is also fortunate. Um, we do have some key positions that we still need, and those are our 18 to 21 plus areas. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our climbing program last year because we did not have the adequate staff. That was not ideal at all. So if we want to make that happen this year, we need a director. So we need that 21 plus person who has some climbing experience, and we also do some training as well. So if you know of those people, please encourage them to apply. We have internships. It's a great experience. We have scholarships available to staff who work at camp as well. So that is our biggest need right now. So if you know of someone, encourage them to apply, or you can give them my contact information, and I would be happy to talk to them or answer any questions about it. Brittany, David, did I miss anything about camp staff? Okay. Here are just some quick links. Our council website is a great resource to find this information, but these are some of the quick links that are available there. You can find our leader guide, class catalog. If you're looking for it, it's probably there. And then here is just some of our contact information. We will send out emails to update and reminders as we get closer to camp. But you can reach out to any of us. Maddie, did you have something?
Yes, I just wanted to add to this, for those of you that are familiar working with Allie Ladd at the council office, she's still with us. She's just moved to a different role with our finance department. So she's no longer in member services. So if you're used to reaching out to her directly, she'll still pass your information and your question along to us. But if you want to make sure it gets to the right place, right away, just use that mac@scouting.org email or my email. That way Allie can stay focused on her new job. We're really excited for her. Sad to lose her on our team, but glad she's still with scouting overall. So if you didn't know that, that is a new change as of a few weeks ago.
All right, we will open it up to any questions. I know that chat has been utilized well. There was a question, can health forms be dropped off in the Grand Island office? That is something we will discuss and get back to you about. Good question. But if you have any questions, you can still use the chat feature. You can unmute yourself and ask. We'll stick around if you have any specific questions.
Natalie, this is Scott Bergman.
Hi.
When mentioning Allie Ladd, it made me think about all the parents that I had to get registered last year in the troll or in the troop,
Mhm.
and that process. Any tips for that or clarifications on if they want to come out for a night or two, what we need to do in advance for parent helpers?
Yeah, I can take that one, Natalie. So any adult that is spending the night needs to be registered. So with your unit. So that's kind of a good baseline, I think, to say to them. So they would need to have youth protection completed, as well as an adult application that, of course, your charter or rep needs to sign. So I'd recommend talking about that with your families, even in the next couple weeks and months leading up to camp, and obviously just getting that process started sooner than later. Obviously, charter reps can take some time to sign documents, youth protection, background checks, all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's my best advice.
Thanks. And that was that email to send them on the previous slide instead of We've worked with Ally in the past.
I will put it in the chat. You can send it to me or our general MAC at scouting.org. That all goes directly to member services. And so even if Crystal's out for the day, other employees will see it and get it processed.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
We had a couple questions in the chat. If a parent is staying for 1 or 2 nights, do they need Part C? Yes, that is a our camp specific rule. So yes, if they are staying more just 1 night or 2, they do have to have that Part C form signed. Another question was, do we know when a decision on ropes will be made? I don't have a good answer for you. It is our goal, it's our intention to offer that program. We are actively promoting, interviewing people. It is still February, so time is still on our side a little bit. So it will be closer to camp when we make that call. Like I said, if you know someone or if someone knows something or knows someone, encourage them to apply. It's a great place to work. We have really cool climbing facilities. We have a 50-foot tower, an amazing cope course. It's a great place to work. So I'm sorry that's not probably the answer you were hoping for.
There was a question about check-in time. Do we sign up for a Sunday check-in time, or will we be able to arrive any point within the check-in window? So when we call to kind of confirm some things with you, we'll kind of ask a check-in window of what time you're expecting. So whether that be, oh, we're expecting to check in at 2:30. This is just so a time I can give my ambassadors so that they're not expecting you to arrive at 2 o'clock and you don't show up till 4. So it's just a kind of my the ambassadors a little bit, but no, there's no specific time you have to check in or sign up to check in.
Question in the chat, just to clarify, merit badge sign up, scouts can still sign up and make changes after May 5th. Brittany or Maddie, do you want to take that?
So after May 5th, it will close. If there are changes that you want to make, please email me. I can handle all of that. But the system, like for your classes, does close so that we can make our changes on our end. But if something comes up in May and you're like, hey, my scout took that merit badge at a merit badge college, I want to change it, please just email me. I can change those right away. But yes, it does close on May 5th.
And you can always make changes once you get to camp as well, based on
Yes.
what is available in each class.
Yep.
These are all really good questions. Does anyone have any other questions? If you're thinking it, someone else is probably thinking it. So we're happy to help or answer any questions.
I'll just add some information, some exciting stuff for you guys while people think of their questions. We did a very extensive review of our campsites this last fall and identified campsites or platforms that need to be replaced, metal frames that need to be replaced, staircases that need to be replaced, kind of water drainage, sustainability type issues in different campsites, and we're really excited. We were approved $25,000 to spend towards platform, frame, canvas, and steps, repairs and replacement. So we're really excited. Our rangers are working super hard this winter and spring to improve those facilities for you guys. And so hopefully you'll be able to see a big difference in the campsites out at camp for safety and just comfort while you're there. So we're excited about that.
There is a question, can we bring our own tents even if canvas tents are provided in our campsite? Yes, so we have had scouts in the past bring their own tents and you will walk past a campsite and see a tent within a tent. So yes, that is an option. Not all of our campsites are the flattest of areas. So just use safe camping if you plan to use it outside of a platform. We do have two campsites that do not have platforms. You bring your own tents, and those are Strom and Getchman Heckman. So if that's what you want to do, you would register for those two campsites. Any other questions? Then you can use the chat, you can unmute yourself.
Hey, this is Bill Carhart. I was just gonna ask, how dynamic is the merit badge offering situation there? And when do you expect that to be pretty much locked down as to what's available and what's not?
So, like for classes, we offer over 63 merit badges, 65. It's already scheduled. Like everything, there's on our website, there's a document called program and activity schedule. Everything's already on there. We plan to offer all of that. So if you want to take a class in block B, it should be there. The only changes we would make is if a class isn't full and only has one or two scouts in it. That's the only really big changes we would make, would be to maybe move those scouts to another, say, swimming class. So they're with other scouts, not just by themselves.
Great, thank you.
I think it's been mentioned a few times and throughout the slides, but goscoutcamping.org is our main website for Camp Cedars. So that's where you can go to register for camp, see our program offerings, camp staff application, waivers, anything that you could possibly need is at that website. So easy to remember.
I have a question about the documents online. The parents like fill out the document and then can we scan it in and upload it to the website, or does it need to be like electronically filled out?
Nope.
Nope, you can, oh, go ahead, Natalie.
It can be either way. So parents can fill it out electronically, or you can print, have them fill it out by hand and then scan it into us. We accept anyway, as long as we have it.
Perfect, thank you.
Of course.
And even if you're having troubles uploading it, I know sometimes the site can be finicky with different browsers, just email it to us and we'll get it tagged to the right scout and unit.
Perfect.
All right, we will stick around if you have any questions. Thank you again for giving up some time this morning. We appreciate it, and we look forward to having you this summer. I think we're around 100 days until week 1, something like that. So before we know it, it'll be here. But we're excited to have you this summer, and thank you again. If you have any individual questions, we'll stick around for a couple minutes. So. We look forward to seeing you along the scouting trail, and have a great rest of your day. 112 days.
I have a love-hate relationship with the countdown on the website.
Oh, yeah. We do not have any more scheduled meetings, but we do send out a lot of email communication leading up to camp. And our Facebook page is a good place to look, as well as our council website. So that's where you'll find our most up-to-date information.